It's a warm evening for spring baseball with Pasco-Hernando looking to keep the hot streak ablaze. The men's baseball team entering tonight after the three-game series sweep over the Panthers as they take on Eastern Florida State College at Rec Park. It's Tuesday night baseball presented by PHSC Athletics. I'm Robert Lischak, your voice for Bobcat Sports. Thank you for joining us. After a four-game skid between matchups from Lake Sumter and Hillsboro, PHSC found their groove in a deadlock race for the top spot in the D2 Sun Lakes Conference. The Bobcats currently 27-18 overall, 15-9 in conference. Meanwhile, JUCO Division I Eastern Florida State College enters this evening with a 16-27 overall record, 9-18 in the Citrus Conference, and a four-game losing streak. Pasco-Hernando in the last 10 games, 5-5, Eastern Florida, 3-7. And these last few games for the Bobcats show a return to form after a short period of tough losses. The pitching performances of Gavin Zossenbreaker and Hector Escobar are especially prime examples of that for rotation who's faced challenges from conference teams all season. I talked to assistant coach Braden Lindman during batting practice and asked how this matchup could play into their next conference series. He told me this game, for example, is to test ourselves against a D1 program. It certainly keeps your arms on track in the bullpen. It gives the coaches time to tweak and iron out minor problems on the field, the diamond, or the mound. And while it is a non-conference game, it does give the team a momentum booster heading into the three-game series later this week, which will kick off on Thursday, an away game for PHSC against St. John's River State College before coming back on Saturday to wrap up their home tenure with a home doubleheader at Rec Park. And furthermore, the discussion I had with Braden Lindman brought on about conversations in relation to the postseason. Unlike last year, PHSC is not hosting this tournament. It is not at a different college within the Sun Lakes Conference. This is a neutral site game. It will be held in Port Charlotte. And I asked him, does that relieve any of the stress, or does that change anything with your game plan coming into a neutral site ballpark? And he told me this. He said, when you're at a neutral site, it relieves the coaches in a sense, because now you're able to not worry about the field itself, about concessions, about other duties on the ballpark, while also trying to focus on the players and what they need to do. So PHSC has a what I call a very proactive, very great coaching staff, and they want to spend as much time as possible with their players. I saw that firsthand in Eden every opportunity. You had Dusty Snyder, you had Braden Lindman, always coming in and looking at the players and talking in the dugout. You had hours before those games, and they won a national championship because not only of the players, but the development, what they needed to do, last-minute tweaks, so on and so forth, either in the bullpen, I should say, or on the field. So PHSC, I think, in a sense, is aware of that, and I think they are quite excited about this week. The momentum I felt during batting practice, the vibes are up. It's 110%. Everyone is ready to go for this game. And even if this is a non-conference game, it does give the team a momentum booster heading into the three-game series later this week, because the following week right after, they will be going on and taking Florida State College of Jacksonville in an away three-game series to wrap up the regular season. We're not too far away from April 30th. We're not too far away from May 1st. This is going to be really a push for Pasco-Hernando, as Lake Sumter and PHSC is tied with a 15-9 conference record. As I alluded to last week, the potential was for PHSC to either tie it, get close to second place, maybe be a game behind, or potentially take the lead. It's scenario 2. Right now, PHSC and Lake Sumter tied 15-9, and this week, especially those conference games for both teams, will I think certainly impact the next week and see where these two teams land. how that will impact Pasco-Hernando when they go to Port Charlotte. That's going to be the interesting question. That's going to be, what are they going to do? I know that Braden Lindman said Durfee, Zossenbreaker, Course, Sebastian Barros, players they want on this postseason lineup in the bullpen, on the field. It's going to be a very interesting final 2 weeks or a week or so as PHSC and Eastern Florida State College get ready for the top of the first inning. I'm Robert Lischak. Thank you for joining us. We're going to take a quick break here. We will have the starting lineups, the batting orders for both teams, who's out on the field, and we'll have some late night baseball here. Good evening baseball as we head into the night. It's PHSC and Eastern Florida State College here in Newport Richey, Florida at Rec Park. We'll be back in just a few moments. Welcome back, everyone. I know that was a very brief intermission, but the Bobcats are out on the field, which will allow me to say, working from the outfield and moving in for PHSC, in left field, number 3, Alex Rodriguez. In center field, number 20, Braden Durfee. Then in right field, number 1, Sebastian Barros. At third is number 26, Michael Greenberg. At shortstop, number 4, Rocco DeMartinez. At second base, number 27, Horatio Sanchez. And then at first base, number 22, Vance Celeberti. The catcher for PHSC, number 17, Eduardo Morales. And the pitcher on the mound for PHSC is number 9, Nicholas Course. Sophomore right-hand pitcher, 15 appearances, 31.2 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts, has allowed 49 hits, and has an ERA of 9.95. Again, the performances for PHSC have been quite stable. Pitching stability is the name of the game. You saw that with Escobar. You saw that with moments with Course. You saw that with Gavin Zossenbreaker. For Eastern Florida State College, let's look at the batting order. The Titans have number 9, Jackson Wargo. Then number 19, Omir Santos. Number 18, Andrew Prito. Number 27, Hudson Gunn. Number 2, Bryce Jackson. Number 14, Ray Yero. Number 16, Steele Minkiewicz. Number 17, Isaiah Santiago. And then to wrap it all off, number 13, Jake Richardson. So stepping up, as I said, number 9, Jackson Wargo. Wargo batting .326 entering today. First pitch. That's a ball. Count is 1-0. First pitch weather report by PHSC Athletics, 81 degrees as Wargo takes a strike. Cloudy right now. Sunset at 7:55 p.m. And Wargo just stumbles there, fouls that one back. Light wind, 8 miles per hour, northeast. That one is chopped to DeMartinez, thrown to Celeberti in time for the first out. 6-3 play to get the first out of this ball game here at Rec Park. Now you have number 19, Amir Santos. The freshman catcher batting .282 this season with 33 hits as he takes a ball. 33 hits, 4 doubles, 21 RBIs, has been struck out 16 times. That's ball 2. Count now is 2-0. Course with the windup and the delivery That's chopped to Greenberg, but that goes past Greenberg and DeMartinez for a single by Omir Santos. First hit of the game for the Titans there. So Santos is at first base, what could have been a potential 5-3 play. It bounces up and goes past two Bobcats into left field. As now you have number 18, Andrew Prito, batting .352 in this game, entering today. 0-1 delivery. It's popped up to right field. Barrows looking back. That one caught there for the first out. Or second out, I should say. Excuse me. Two outs here in this top of the first inning. Santos at first base after the single to left field, and now you have number 27, Hudson Gunn. The redshirt sophomore swings on that one, strike one. 89 at-bats entering today, batting .326. Course with the windup. That one popped up into shallow territory. Greenberg is saying he's got it. And we'll get it. For out number 3, retires the side, and we head to the bottom of the first inning. One hit recorded. That by Santos for Eastern Florida. No score here as we enter the bottom half of the first inning. Bottom of the first inning, no score. On a warm evening of baseball at Rec Park, I'm Robert Lischak. East Florida State up against PHSC in a non-conference game. D1 team up against a D1 team. Working from the outfield and in for Eastern Florida State College. In left field, number 19, Omir Santos. Then in center field, number 13, Jake Richardson. Right field, number 9, Jackson Wargo. At third, number 27, Hudson Gunn. Shortstop, number 2, Bryce Jackson. Second baseman, number 14, Ray Yero. At first, number 16, Steele Minkiewicz. Then the catcher, number 18, Andrew Prito. Pitcher on the mound, number 17, Isaiah Santiago. No major stats for the Titan. No ERA, no hits, no strikeouts, nothing I could find on the stat sheet. As number 3, Alex Rodriguez, starts it off for PHSC. He takes a ball, gives us an opportunity to talk about the batting order. Starts off with Rodriguez, then number 20, Braden Durfee, number 22, Vance Celeberti. Followed by number 1, Sebastian Barros, number 26, Michael Greenberg. Number 4, Rocco DeMartinez. Number 15, Braden Gonzalez. Then number 17, Eduardo Morales. And number 27, Horatio Sanchez. Alex Rodriguez facing the 2-1 delivery by Santiago. Goes right up the middle. And that will be the first out. A 6-3 play by Jackson to Minkiewicz. That is out number 1. So now you have number 20, Braden Durfee. Braden Durfee has had a great year for PHSC. 16 stolen bases, the most at the D2 level here, as that is a hit by pitch by Santiago. And Durfee will move to first base with only one out in this bottom of the first inning. And that brings on number 22, Vance Celeberti, first baseman, freshman for Pasco-Hernando. Here's an interesting stat. He is second in the FCSAA D2 for runs batted in. That one is popped up into foul territory, and it will be caught by the third baseman, Hudson Gunn, for out number 2. I was just about to say, that he had 49 runs batted in, the second most at the D2 level in the FCSAA entering today. Who's at number 1? Sebastian Barros, who's up to bat right now. 74 RBIs. That's a ball. Count is 1-0. Durfee with the hit by pitch. He's at first base. Sebastian Barros recently named today the FCSAA D2 Player of the Week in men's baseball. Not the first time he has had this honor. Dawson Breaker was also named the D2 Pitcher of the Week. Santiago with the 2-0 delivery. That one is fouled away. Count is 2-1. Sebastian Barros batting .380, 74 RBIs, 12 home runs, 65 hits. The 2-1 pitch. That one fouled away as well. Count is even 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Durfee at first base after the hit by pitch by Santiago. Santiago with the 2-2 delivery. That one fouled back, so protecting on 2-2 is Barros. PHSC in the last 10 games, 5-5. 27-18 is the overall record. 15-9 in conference, tied with Lake Sumter in a deadlock race for first in the Sun Lakes division. That's a ball there. Count is now full, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 man aboard. The 3-2 pitch. That's in center field, and Richardson will hunt that one down to retire the side. No score here as we enter the top of the second inning between PHSC and Eastern Florida State College. We'll be back in just a few moments. Top of the second inning, PHSC up against Eastern Florida State College in a interdivision matchup. D1 up against D2. I'm Robert Lischak. Thank you for joining us. No score here between the Titans and the Bobcats, as number 2, Bryce Jackson, is up to bat. First pitch swinging. That's going to be a strike. Count is 0-1. Bryce Jackson batting .296 entering today. Course with the 0-1 delivery. That's going to be a ball. Count is even 1-1. One ball, one strike. Course with the windup and the delivery. That's strike 2. On a fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out in this top of the second inning. 2-1 pitch. Evens the count with the ball. The 2-2 delivery. That one fouled away. So protecting on 2-2 is Jackson. The 2-2 pitch in the chamber. And that's going to be a base hit out to left field over Rocco DeMartinez for a single. The second hit for Eastern Florida State College on a 2-2 pitch. Now you have number 14, Ray Yero. The freshman infielder batting .270. With Jackson on first. That one fouled away to the right side. Count is 0-1. PHSC will have their final 2 home games of the regular season on the 18th. Runner on the move, that being Jackson. He slides to second, and he will be safe. So now you have Jackson in prime scoring position after the steal from first to second. Course with the pitch. That one is chopped to Greenberg, thrown to Celeberti in time for out number 1. It does move Bryce Jackson from second to first. And now you have number 16, Steele Minkowitz. That is the phonetical spelling of the name. If I went with the original, I would offend half of Europe, and I do not want to do that. Minkowitz waiting the delivery by Course. That's a ball. Count is 1-0. Batting .429 this season for the redshirt freshman. Count is even 1-1 now. 12 recorded hits. 1 double. The 1-1 delivery. That one is popped up into shallow right field. Picked up by Barros. Runner will tag. Barros the throw to Morales. But Jackson decides to change his mind. So 2 outs here in this top of the second inning. And now you have the pitcher, number 17, Isaiah Santiago, up to bat. Batting .300. 24 hits. 3 doubles. 7 RBIs. As he takes a ball from Course. Count is 1-0. Eastern Florida State College is part of the Citrus Conference. That's Division I. PHSC is in the Sun Lakes Conference D2 on the JUCO level. Course with the 1-1 delivery. That one is fouled away on the right side. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 man aboard, that being Jackson at third. Santiago waiting the 1-2 delivery by Course. That one fouled away. So protecting on 1 and 2 is Santiago. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out. Course with the delivery. That's ball number 2. Count is even 2-2. PHSC will have their final home games on April 18th. That is a doubleheader, by the way, at Rec Park at 2 and 5 p.m. Eastern. 2-2 delivery, strike 3 call. Nicholas Corse moving along here as we enter the bottom of the second inning. No score between Eastern Florida and PHSC. We'll be back on the PHSC Athletics YouTube channel. Bottom of the second inning, no score between PHSC and Eastern Florida State College. I'm Robert Lischak. Thank you for joining us. If you're just tuning in, as number 26, Michael Greenberg for Pasco-Hernando is up to bat. Greenberg, third baseman for PHSC, batting .357 this season, entering today. Santiago with the pitch. That is fouled away to the left side, right in front of Braden Lindman. Count now is 0-1. Santiago with the delivery. Fouls that one away as well. So now he's in deep 0-2. He's in the left batter's box. Santiago with the 0-2 delivery. Strike 3 call. That's out number 1 in this bottom of the second inning. It brings up number 4, Rocco DeMartinez. Rocco batting .267, 135 at-bats with 36 hits, as that one is chopped to Jackson, thrown to Minkowitz, and that one goes away from him. Ball deflected on top and then went out of play, as the potential 6-3 play is no more, and he moves from first to second. Minkowitz trying to get that ball that was really low, did the splits. Ball went over his head and went into foul territory. Ball was still live, of course, that being a live ball and all. So now you have number 15, Braden Gonzalez, who is the designated hitter. That one fouled away. Count is 0-1. Gonzalez batting .348, 14 RBIs, 2 home runs, 32 hits. Santiago with the 0-1 delivery. That's going to be a ball. Count is 1-1. Rocco DeMartinez is at second base after the error by Eastern Florida on what could have been a 6-3 play for out number 2. 1-1 delivery. And that one is fouled away to the right side, so now it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 man aboard in prime scoring position, that being DeMartinez. One-two pitch. That one fouled away. No score in this game. early in the second inning, the closing chapter of it. 1-2 pitch. Did he go? He did. So that's out number 2. That brings on number 17, Eduardo Morales, the catcher for PHSC. D. Martinez is at second base. 2 outs in this bottom of the second inning. Santiago with the delivery. That's a strike. Count is 0-1. PHSC wrapping up the regular season in a deadlocked race with Lake Sumter. Both teams tied 15-9 in conference, and that will change this week depending on the outcomes of both of their respective series. 1-1 delivery. That one is in foul territory to the right. No play will be made. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. D. Martinez at second base. Here comes the 1-2 delivery. That goes right to Jackson, thrown to Minkowitz for the play. So a do-over on the 6-3 play means no runs will be scored. It is still a tied game as we enter the top of the third inning. PHSC, the Bobcats, Eastern Florida State College, the Titans. More baseball action coming your way. PHSC is a proud member of the FCSAA, the Florida College System Activities Association, promotes leadership, responsibility, civic engagement, and encourages student-athlete academic success. For more information, visit www.thefcsaa.com. Top of the third inning. No score here between PHSC, Pasco-Hernando, and Eastern Florida State College in a battle of the Bobcats and the Titans. I apologize if my voice is not as strong today. Don't know why that is, but I hope that my commentary helps with what is happening in what should be a very great ball game. As number 13, Jake Richardson, bottom of the order, is up to bat. He's in the left batter's box. Course with the windup. That's a ball. Count is 1-0. PHSC held the regional tournament last year. That one is ripped to D. Martinez, thrown to Celebrity in time for a 6-3 play. That's out number 1. And we go back to the top of the order with number 9, Jackson Wargo. Course with the pitch. That's a strike. PHSC on a good rhythm in the last couple days, as that is strike number 2 now. Wargo in deep 0-2. After the 4-game skid, they win the series over Palm Beach State. And now tied with Lake Sumter for for the first place position. 1-2 delivery. That's ball 2. Count is even. And I talked to Braden Lemon about the potential tournament. It's a neutral site game. Does that change anything? For the players, not really. Strike 3 call. Course with a beautiful strike to get the top hitter, Wargo, out. Now you have number 19, Omir Santos. Omir Santos batting .282, entering today. That one is ripped into right field, fair, past Celebrity. Santos moving to second. The throw by Barros to Sanchez. And that one goes off of D. Martinez, the intended target. Santos makes it to second. In time, no trouble. Barros with a heavy throw to Sanchez, but I think the intended target was D. Martinez. It went past him. So now you have number 18, Andrew Prieto, up to bat. Here comes a delivery. That one fouled back. Count is 0-1. Santos at second base with that ball that was ripped into right field, past Celebrity by the outstretched glove. Course with the 0-1 delivery. That's a ball. Count is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. A Titan at second, that being Santos. The 1-1 delivery. That's ball 2. Count is 2-1. Prieto batting .352. 43 hits to his name. 2-1 delivery. And that's going to be a base hit out to right field in front of Barros. Santos pushing to home. Here comes the throw to Morales. And that will be in time for the out. A superhuman throw by Barros to Morales retires the side. A 9-2 play. And we head to the bottom of the third inning. No runs scored in this game at Rec Park. We'll be back in just a few moments. Bottom of the third inning, no score here at Rec Park on the West Campus. I'm Robert Litzchak. Thank you for joining us. If you didn't see the last play, the throw by Sebastian Barros to Eduardo Morales, the catcher. Mind you, Barros is in right field. A 9-2 play to get Santos out and make sure that this is a no-score contest thus far. Sebastian Barros has had a superhuman year, to say the least. Now you have number 27, Horatio Sanchez, coming into his own this past season. Great infield work by him. That ball is ripped to Euro to Minkowitz for the 4-3 play. That's out number 1. So now you head to the top of the order with number 3, Alex Rodriguez, the left fielder. Rodriguez batting .307 entering today. Santiago with the pitch. That's a strike. Count is 0-1. Eastern Florida State College has a 16-27 overall record coming into the contest. There's strike 2. Santiago with the 0-2 delivery in the chamber. That ball is hit into center field. Trotting is Richardson. He'll grab it for the second out. Santiago is also in the batting order. So a Shohei Ohtani-esque opponent to PHSC in that sense of the word. And now you have number 20, Braden Durfee, up to bat in the left batter's box. Durfee waiting on the delivery by Santiago. That is a strike. Durfee committed to the University of Kansas, World Series MVP during the tournament last year in May. And that's another hit by pitch. So Durfee was hit by Santiago's pitch the first time around. The second time around, and now he is at first base. How peculiar that is. You have Vance Celeberti now up to bat, number 22, the first baseman. Santiago with the pitch. That is a ball. Count is 1-0. Vance Celeberti has had some great moments, especially in the earlier half of the season. 1-0 delivery. That one is going to be fair. A base hit out to right field. That is pushing Durfee to third. Here comes the throw by Wargo, but he bumbles the ball. Durfee will make it in time all the way around. And the RBI double by Vance Celeberti makes it a 1-0 ball game. I do not know what happened with Wargo. My viewpoint, I see over there, Wargo had the ball, I believe, and I was waiting for the throw, but nothing came. So the first hit by PHSC, the RBI double, allows Durfee to go home, and now it is a 1-0 ball game. There's a strike. And that is to number 1, Sebastian Barros. Celeberti is at second base again after the RBI double to right field. 0-1 delivery. That's down in the dirt. Count is even 1-1. Again, I did not know, what happened with the ball when it was in Wargo's hands, the right fielder. I thought a throw was coming from my viewpoint, but nevertheless, during that last play. 1-1 delivery. And that's going to be a base hit out to center right field. That will push Celeberti to home. Here comes the throw by Richardson. Of course, that will not be in time. The slide by Barros, and he makes it in cleanly. A RBI double by Sebastian Barros brings Celeberti home. And now it is a 2-0 ball game, PHSC on top. So you had the RBI double with Celeberti, now the RBI double with Sebastian Barros. Will it happen again with Michael Greenberg? We'll see. That's a ball. Count is 1-0. It is a 2-0 ball game right now. PHSC with 2 hits in this game so far, again, after the RBI doubles by Celeberti and Barros. That's a strike, evens a count 1-1 against Greenberg. Barros is at second base. That will be his 75th RBI, by the way, for Sebastian Barros. There's strike 2 against Greenberg, and now the count is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Barros at second for PHSC. Santiago with the delivery. That goes off of Santiago, and that's going to be a base hit out to right field. A deflection off the pitcher, and Celeberti, or should I say Barros, will make it in time. I do not know why I said Celeberti, excuse me, but what a weird play that was. I made a weird call after the weird play that happened. The deflection off the ball from Santiago hit his leg, went out to right field, and brought in Barros home, excuse me. So now it is a 3-0 ball game. And Greenberg is at first. Rocco DeMartinez is up to bat for PHSC. He's facing a 2-0 count by Santiago. Greenberg is at first base. Excuse me. Do not know what that was. Probably myself feeling a bit under the weather. I apologize. Three balls, no strike. Santiago with the pitch. That's a strike. Greenberg is at first base after the RBI single that deflected off the pitcher Santiago and into right field. That is chopped to gun, thrown to Minkowitz in time for the 5-3 play. So PHSC is on top after the RBI double by Celebrity, the RBI double by Barros, and the RBI single by Greenberg. PHSC on top 3-0 as we enter the top of the fourth inning. If you want to stay connected with your Bobcat athletes, check out our social media pages where we post important season updates and exclusive content. Check out at PHSC Athletics on Instagram, PHSC Athletics on Facebook, and at Athletics PHSC on X. Top of the fourth inning, 3-0 ball game after the RBI double by Celebrity, then Sebastian Barros, and the RBI single by Greenberg. PHSC on top against the Titans of Eastern Florida State College. Course with the delivery there. That one is fouled away by number 27, Hudson Gunn. Hudson Gunn, the redshirt sophomore, batting .309 as he takes the ball. Count is even 1-1. You may notice that I'm a bit off, but this team is not. This team has been on fire as of recently. Hoping to extend the win streak, hoping to do some really great damage like that in their upcoming series with St. John's River State College. The strikeout there, first out of this top of the fourth inning by Course. Now you have number 2, Bryce Jackson, up to bat. He's in the right batter's box. That's a ball there. Count is 1-0. Again, for PHSC, I think in this peculiar situation, it's crunch time. And for PHSC, they know the postseason's coming right around the corner. They want to do well in the conference battles because they do know that with Lake Sumter or Palm Beach and even St. John's River looking at the standings here, PHSC could face one of these teams. It is a double elimination tournament from my understanding. It was last year. Jackson right now with 2 balls and 2 strikes against him. Course with the 2-2 delivery. That one fouled away as well. PHSC will have their final home games on April 18th in a home doubleheader at 2 and 5 p.m. That is against the Vikings of St. John's River State College. 2-2 delivery. Full count, 3-2. So stay tuned for those two games. That will wrap up the home tenure for PHSC. That one is popped up into left field. Greenberg on the move and Rodriguez. Rodriguez will track it down and grab it for the out. Great hustle there by Rodriguez for out number 2. So now you have number 14, Ray Euro. Ray Euro, the freshman infielder batting .270 this season, has been struck out 16 times, has 27 hits to his name this season. That one is deflected. Count is a ball, so it is 1-0. PHSC in the last 10 games, 5-5. 1-0 delivery. That one is skied into center field and tracked down by Durfee to retire the side. Great work there by the outfield. Out number 2 by Rodriguez. Out number 3 by Durfee as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-0 ball game. PHSC still on top over the Titans. We'll be back in just a few moments. Bottom of the 4th inning, 3-0 ball game. PHSC on top over Eastern Florida State College. I'm Robert Lischak. Thank you for joining us on the PHSC Athletics YouTube channel. It is a warm Tuesday, unlike the other games in the last couple weeks. Feeling like late spring, early summer. PHSC with 3 hits to their name, all from the efforts of Celebrity, Barros, and Greenberg. So Braden Gonzalez is up to bat. He's in the left batter's box, the designated hitter, batting .348 entering today. Santiago is still on the mound as we have the windup and the delivery. That ball is skied into shallow center field. Picked up there on a hop by Jake Richardson for out number 1. This will be my 13th game this season for PHSC. We'll be broadcasting the last 2. That home doubleheader, I've seen some great moments for PHSC as Eduardo Morales takes strike 1. Count is 0-1. That's a ball. Count is even 1-1. That's hit to Jackson. Thrown to Minkowitz for out number 2, a 6-3 play. The only error in this game so far was to Eastern Florida on that same exact play, a 6-3 play. The ball was deflected, went over the first baseman for Eastern Florida. As now you have Horatio Sanchez up to bat. He takes a ball. Count is 1-0. And that's going to be a base hit out to right field, touching down right in front of Jackson Wargo. A 2-out single by Horatio Sanchez. The 4th hit for PHSC so far in this contest. And now it brings up number 3, Alex Rodriguez, the left fielder for the Bobcats. With 2 outs, 1 man aboard. Santiago with the ball there. Count is 1-0. The 1-0 delivery. That's ball 2. PHSC has a combined on-base percentage of .412 this season. Batting average .319. Slugging percentage .503. As Rodriguez is facing a 2-1 pitch by Santiago. And that's going to be down into left center field. That will push Sanchez to third. Here comes the throw by Richardson. And that will not be in time. So the double by Alex Rodriguez moves Sanchez to third. 2 men aboard with 2 outs. And now you have Brayton Durfee, who can be really big in these situations. With 2 outs in this bottom of the 4th inning. Sanchez is at third. Rodriguez is at second. Santiago with the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit out to left field. That will push both Sanchez and Rodriguez home. I do not know what happened with the infield. A delay between Hudson Gunn and Bryce Jackson brings 2 more runs. PHSC taking full advantage of that. It is a 4-0 ball game now. A meeting on the mound. So it should be a 5-0 ball game. The score is saying 4-0. I'm finally getting the confirmation. And that will be it for Santiago. We'll get a new pitcher on the mound. A crazy series of events for Eastern Florida. But PHSC taking full and prime advantage of that. PHSC on top 5-0. As we will take a quick break in the action. So this would be a Bobcat update for the new pitcher. The pitcher's number is number 7. I am currently looking at the stat sheet, and I do not see a number 7. I don't see a number 7 on the stat sheet for pitching. I apologize. I will try to find this individual's name. But as of right now, I do not know who this individual is. First time I've seen that this season, by the way. We'll get his name as soon as possible. But now you have Vance Celebrity up to bat for PHSC. Vance Celebrity facing this mystery pitcher. Runner on the move, that being Durfee. Durfee slides in time to second, and that will be another stolen base for the fellow sophomore this season. Count is 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 delivery. Ball's up high. Count is 2-0. That one is down in the dirt, so that's ball 3. Three balls, no strikes. That's a strike. Durfee is at second base in prime scoring position with 2 outs. Here comes the 3-1 delivery. Swings on that one heavy. That's going to be strike 2, full count. Here comes a 3-2 delivery. Durfee tries to make a move to third, but that ball was fouled off by Celeberti. So protecting on 3 and 2 is the first baseman for PHSC. Three-two delivery. And that's going to be a foul ball to right field. Some happy reaction in the crowd that we have here. Still a really great hit. Nevertheless, to right field just was outside of the fair territory. Just a smidge. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The delivery. That's ball 4. Celeberti will move up to first base. Durfee stays at second. And I just looked at the game changer, and can you believe it? I don't have a name. It just says number 7. So I apologize in advance. I have no idea who this pitcher is. The stat sheet doesn't say it. The website says a different name. And Game Changer has number 7 only as the pitcher. That's a ball there. Count is 1-0. Against number 1, Sebastian Barros. Sebastian Barros, named on the FCSAA website as the D2 Player of the Week. Not his first time being awarded that. Sebastian Barros with 75 RBIs, the most of any player at the D2 level for the FCSAA. Durfee's at second. Celeberti's at first, facing a 2-0 delivery by the number 7 pitcher. That one is ripped into foul territory. Count is 2-1. It's ball 4. So that was 3 balls and 1 strike. So that's ball 4. So the bases now are fully loaded. I apologize again. Always getting my double check on the scoreboard over there. Just making sure that I was right or wrong. It was a 3-1 pitch. Full count. Ball 4. Excuse me again. I'm just having a bad day. This team has not had a bad day in some time, winning that 3-game series with Palm Beach. There's ball 2. So Durfee is at third. Celeberti's at second. Barros is at first, with Michael Greenberg batting right now, and pops one into shallow center field and will be picked up there by Ray Yarrow to retire the side. So we head to the top of the 5th inning, a 5-0 ball game. PHSC in control We'll be back in just a few moments. Top of the fifth inning, PHSC on top 5-0 over Eastern Florida State College. I'm Robert Lischak. Thank you for joining us on today's broadcast. Pasco-Hernando will have their final home games of the regular season on April 18th as the Bobcats take on the Vikings of St. John's River State College at 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern. The doubleheader is located at Rec Park on the West Campus. For more details, check out the PHSC Athletics website and check out the broadcasts on the PHSC Athletics YouTube channel. Number 16, Steele Minkowitz, is up to bat. He's in the left batter's box for the Titans. Course still on the mound. New pitcher on the mound, by the way, for PHSC, so that's no longer Course. It is, looks like from my vantage point, number 21, Michael Halfpenny. So he's up on the mound after Course's time as the starter. Has thrown 3 balls against Minkowitz in this particular at-bat right now. That's a strike. Halfpenny with an ERA of 4.66, 19.1 innings pitched, has allowed 15 hits, has struck out 26 batters so far this season. That's ball 4. Minkowitz will head to first base. Pitching stability is what has been talked about in recent weeks. You look at the performance by Zossenbreaker and Escobar and in the rotation within the bullpen during the Palm Beach series, and that was the key factor in a lot of those games where it was such a hard game to watch, where you have your starting pitcher, whether it's nerves or just trying to aim the ball properly, not having his full form set. I think of that Hillsborough game where PHSC was down 18-0, but eventually they found their groove on the hitting side of things, and you don't really want to rely on your hitting all the time. You want to make sure that your pitching starts strong and stays strong, and to have the 9 guys with you in communication, have the infield in communication when you're on the mound, and make sure that the hitting, when it's the time and place for it, to really give relief to the pitcher so he doesn't have to necessarily do as much on the mound to limit the potential danger of the opposite team. And that one is out of play, excuse me. Count is 1-1 against number 17, Isaiah Santiago. One ball, one strike. Halfpenny with the pitch. That one is fouled away as well on the right side. Minkowitz is at first base after the walk by Halfpenny. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out in this top of the 5th inning. There's a ball. Count is even 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, 1 man aboard for the Titans. That's ball 3, full count. So you have a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 man aboard, nobody out, in a 5-0 ball game with a new pitcher on the mound, that being Halfpenny. Halfpenny with the windup. That one is popped up and out of play to the right side, so protecting on 3-2 is Isaiah Santiago. Again, he was the starting pitcher for Eastern Florida State College. The 3-2 delivery. Right to Sanchez, given to DeMartinez, thrown to Celeberti, and that will get 1. So the 4-6-3 play only gets 1 Titan. Minkowitz. Santiago is at first now with 1 out, and that brings on number 13, Jake Richardson, the bottom of the order. Delivery by Halfpenny. That one is fouled away to the right side. Count is 0-1. If you want to stay connected with our Bobcat athletes, check out our social media pages where we post exclusive content and up-to-date information on the season, including final scores and other bonus content. As that one is also fouled away. Count is 0-2. You can find all of our social media pages with at PHSC Athletics on Instagram, PHSC Athletics on Facebook, and at Athletics PHSC on X. Halfpenny with the 0-2 delivery against Richardson. And that's going to be in left field and picked up there by Rodriguez for out number 2. So you head with the next person in line, that being number 7, the same individual I do not have a name for. Just looking on here, I have Jacob Miller as number 7, and that could be him. He has no major stats on the record, and that's on the extended hitting category. Jacob Miller batting .267 this season. 60 at-bats, 9 runs, 16 hits. Again, this is off of the stat sheet here. Did not see him on the pitching category. Game Changer did not have a name for number 7. Runner on the move, that being Santiago, but that one is fouled off. Count is 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 man aboard at first base, that being Santiago. Halfpenny with 13 seconds left on the pitch clock with the 1-2 delivery. That's a ball. Count now is 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Halfpenny with the delivery. That's ball 3, full count. So now you have a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. It moves up Santiago to second base after that ball. Miller waiting on the 3-2 pitch. Right to DeMartinez, thrown to Celebrity in time to retire the side. A great 6-3 play. Nothing comes of it for the Titans as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. A 5-0 ball game still for PHSC up against Eastern Florida State College at Rec Park. Bottom of the 5th inning. A 5-0 ball game. PHSC on top, hoping to extend the win streak after sweeping Palm Beach State College in their home series in this very same ballpark, a great ballpark to watch spring baseball. A great place to broadcast games, if you ask me. Especially as the postseason is very close, is approaching upon us. I have seen some great moments in the 13 games I have broadcasted this season. This is my 13th game. Very honored to be broadcasting this season for PHSC, as there's going to be a base hit out to left center field by Rocco DeMartinez. And he'll stay at first as the throw comes in from Richardson to Jackson. Jackson lost control of that ball for the second, but that does not change the fact that that is a single by DeMartinez, and now that brings on the designated hitter, Braden Gonzalez, with nobody out. And what is number 7, what I'm assuming is Jacob Miller on the mound here. And Gonzalez hits one that's going to go down into left field. So the single by Gonzalez moves up Rocco DeMartinez to second with nobody out. In which you have number 17, Eduardo Morales, the catcher, now up to bat. Rocco DeMartinez is at second. Braden Gonzalez is at first. Eduardo Morales is batting here as he takes a strike against Miller. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Evens the count with the ball, 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. And that one is foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out, 2 men aboard. Rocco DeMartinez is at second base. Braden Gonzalez is at first. Eduardo Morales is batting with Miller and his 1-2 pitch coming your way. That one is fouled away, so protecting on 1 and 2 is Morales. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Miller with the 1-2 delivery. And that's going to get down and be a base hit out to left center field. That will push DeMartinez home. Runners at the corners, and the RBI single by Eduardo Morales makes it a 6-0 ball game PHSC on a roll. Gonzalez is now at third base. Morales is at first. It brought Rocco DeMartinez home. As you have number 27, Horatio Sanchez, up to bat for PHSC. That one chopped and out of play, went right into the PHSC dugout. Count is 0-1. Runners at the corners for PHSC. Miller with the windup. That's a ball. Count is 1-1. Gonzalez is at third. Morales is at first. Rodriguez is in the on-deck circle. That's the top of the order. Ball is down in the dirt. That is ball 2. In a 6-0 ball game for PHSC, and nobody is out. The 2-1 delivery. That one chopped and fouled away by Sanchez. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Sanchez. With Gonzalez at third and Morales at first. And some discussion here with Lyndon Coleman in the home umpire for just a quick second. Do not know what the conversation was, as I am unable to hear it from my vantage point, but it looks like the game is going to resume. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Sanchez. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Miller with the 2-2 pitch. Runner on the move. Eduardo Morales will make it to second without a problem. That ball was up high. And now you have a full count, 3-2. Sanchez waiting on the 3-2 pitch. That one fouled away. Gonzalez is at third base. Morales is at second after the steal. Three balls, 2 strikes. That one is popped up in the infield here. Picked up. No, it's not picked up, though, by Hudson Gunn. What could have been out number 1. Turns out he didn't catch it. Also, keep in mind the sun is coming in, so that's another factor as well. But it keeps Sanchez alive. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. That one fouled away, so the at-bat continues here. Miller, the pitcher, up against Sanchez, the batter, with nobody out. Gonzalez at third, Morales at second. The windup and the delivery. That's ball 4, bases fully loaded. So the bases are now fully loaded. Miller is on the mound. And Rodriguez would be next to bat, but we're going to have a meeting here. Might be a new pitcher in town for Eastern Florida. If not, some type of plan to deviate what PHSC is doing here, which is fully loaded bases, nobody out, and Alex Rodriguez, who's in the top of the order, up next to bat. Again, Sanchez is at first, Morales is at second, Gonzalez is at third. And it looks like in this very moment of time we have a new pitcher. That being number 2 from my visual point. I have my binoculars with me. If I'm reading this correctly, according to the roster, that is number 2. That would be Bryce Jackson. Bryce Jackson, who's the shortstop, is now the pitcher. And I will confirm this through Game Changer, but that's what it looks like. And I am correct. Bryce Jackson is the new pitcher on the mound, the shortstop. Now on the mound for Eastern Florida State College. I will get the new shortstop. Looks like it's number 14. Ray Yarrow. If I'm correct, because the infield has changed, and I'm trying to get all the information here. That ball is hit up high and picked up there by Wargo. Runners will move, that being Gonzalez, to home. And Eduardo Morales will push to third. It is a 7-0 ball game now. Runners at the corners with only one out, and that brings on Braden Durfee. Jacob Miller, runner on the move, that being Durfee. Here comes the slide. That being Sanchez, I should say, excuse me. Sanchez is called out. I was thinking of Durfee because Durfee's up to bat, and he is the stolen base king after all. More stolen bases than any other Bobcat this season. And just looking here from my vantage point on the Game Changer app, number 7 is out in center field, Jacob Miller, and that ball is crushed up and high and deep to left field. See ya later. Home run. The 2-run home run by Braden Durfee continues the hot streak. It is a 9-0 ball game on a very nice swing by the center fielder on 2 outs. And PHSC is up 9-0, the 10th hit. And now you have Vance Celeberti, as I was saying, trying to get all this new information because the outfield has changed. Jacob Miller is out in center field. And you have number 17, that being Isaiah Santiago, in right field. So that is what the new outfield and infield looks like. I apologize again for just trying to get all this information to you. But Vance Celeberti hits one into center field and picked up there by Santos. So that means we head to the top of the 6th inning, a 9-0 ball game, and a great game for the Bobcats here as they try to continue it. 9-0 PHSC on top against the Titans. We'll be back in just a few moments. Top of the 6th inning, new pitcher on the mound for PHSC, Evan Alwine, number 12 for Pasco-Hernando. Alwine has an ERA of 6.29. The sophomore right-hand pitcher, 24.1 innings pitched. Has allowed 26 hits. Has struck out 15 batters. As Santos is up to bat here, he's 2 for 2. Fouls that one away. Count is 1-1. Amir Santos, the freshman, batting .282 entering today. That one is in left field, a foul ball, and no move could be made there as it went past the fence in foul territory for Rodriguez. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody out early on in this top of the 6th inning. Again, for PHSC, they wrap up their homestand with a doubleheader at Rec Park on the 18th. That one is ripped into right field past Celebrity. Santos pushing for second. Here comes the throw by Barros, and he'll make it in time. Went past second base a couple of feet. The throw didn't seem to do any damage to him and his base running. So a double for Santos. He's 3 for 3 now. It brings on number 18, Andrew Prito, batting .352 this season. The 5th hit for the Titans in this game. Alwine with the delivery. That's a strike. Count is 0-1. That home doubleheader against the Vikings of St. John's River State College is at 2 and 5 p.m. Games are 100% free to attend. I always like to see Bobcat Nation come out to all of our athletics. I think it's great to have support, not only from the coaches and the families of the players, but as well members of the community, as that one is fouled off into right field, fouled away. Count now is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Alwine up on the mound with Santos at second. The 1-2 delivery. And Santos will move to third base on a bad coordinated pitch that nearly clipped Prito. Eduardo Morales with his glove, it tipped off of it, went behind, had enough distance for Santos to move from second to third with nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alwine with the 2-2 delivery. That's a base it up the middle. That will bring Santos home. Prito with the RBI single. It is a 9-1 ball game. So now you have number 27, Hudson Gunn, next to bat for the Titans, the redshirt sophomore, batting .309 this season. Prito at first. And that one ripped and fouled away. And it looks like from the audible ooze from Eastern Florida, it might have hit a car of some sort. Hopefully the 2002 Subaru I own was not damaged. Just kidding. I don't own a 2002 Subaru, but that would suck for anybody. That's going to be a base it up the middle. That goes past D. Martinez. Runners will advance up. And so now you have Prito in second, Gunn at first, nobody out, and Bryce Jackson, number 2, the sophomore, 1 for 2 in today's game, up to bat. He's in the right batter's box. Prito at second, Gunn at first. takes the ball there. Count is 1-0. Gun actually is Gwynn. Just making sure I pronounce that right. I know I said gun, but it's Guinn, who's at first base, so Gwynn, like penguin. So apologies for the mispronunciation of the name. 2-0 delivery. That ball picked up by Celebrity on a hop. Given to DeMartinez, back to Celebrity for a 3-6-3 play of what could have been a 3-6-3 play. Prito moves to third. Gwynn is out, and Jackson's at first. So runners at the corners with one out. Runner on the move. Right to DeMartinez. Thrown to Celebrity in time. But that will bring Prito home, and now it's a 9-2 ball game with Jackson at second. Number 14, or should I say, number 14, Ray Yarrow, goes back to the dugout, as now you have number 16, Steele Minkowitz, up to bat, as he takes the 0-1 count there. Minkowitz 0 for 1 in today's game. Jackson at second with 2 outs in this 9-2 ball game. There's a nice one there. Nasty. Count now is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 out. The delivery there nearly hits Minkowitz. Count now is 1-2. Alwine with the 1-2 delivery. That one goes past both DeMartinez and Greenberg and brings home the run. Jackson from second. It is a 9-3 ball game now with that RBI single by Minkowitz. Talk about strange. Isaiah Santiago is up to bat here. And that one is right to DeMartinez, then to Sanchez for a 6-4 play, to retire the side. So Eastern Florida State College grabs 3 runs. Pasco-Hernando still up by 6 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be back in just a few moments. Bottom of the 6th inning, 9-3 ball game. Eastern Florida able to get some runs. I'm Robert Lischak, your voice for Bobcat Sports. Again, I apologize for any of the confusion for tracking and finding players, specifically what we saw with the pitcher, where we couldn't find the name of the pitcher, and then the rearranging of the outfield. Game Changer does not really have, depending on what is put in, the names of certain players depending on the rosters. So again, I apologize for that. I try to keep up with the most important information as possible, try to get everything correct with the detail. That's how I am. That's how I'm built. But nevertheless, the game is going to obviously continue with a base it out to right field by Sebastian Barros. Hot stuff by the right fielder. Bryce Jackson is up on the mound, by the way. That was his 9th pitch, with Michael Greenberg up to bat in the left batter's box. 1 for 3 in this game. Barros at first base. That ball fouled back. Count is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 man aboard, nobody out. The 0-2 pitch. Ball is popped up into right field and picked up there by number 17, Isaiah Santiago, for out number 1. So now you have Rocco DeMartinez up to bat with Barros at first base, 1 out. DeMartinez 1 for 3 in this game as he takes a ball. Count is 1-0. That's ball number 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, 1 man aboard, that being Sebastian Barros. That's ball 3 now. The 3-0 delivery by Jackson. That's ball 4. So DeMartinez will move to first base. Sebastian Barros is now up at second. And it brings on the designated hitter, number 15, Braden Gonzalez. Gonzalez batting .348 this season, 1 for 3 in this game. Swings on that one, heavy, strike 1. Count is 0-1. PHSC in the last 10 games, 5-5. Gonzalez hits a deep one out to left field. That one is gone. Gonzalez with the 3-run home run. They call him the DH for a reason. PHSC continues to build the momentum here in this game. It's a 12-3 ball game for Pasco-Hernando. As Hayden Prescott is up to bat. He's in the left batter's box. Hayden Prescott, also known as Eagle on the team. Takes a ball there. Count is 3-0. Hayden Prescott batting .333 this season as he takes ball 4. 12-3, up by 9. 1 out. And now we're going to have a meeting on the mound. It looks like it's going to be Jackson's end, potentially. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Prescott is at first, and we're going to have a new pitcher on the mound. So some rearranging in the outfield and infield. This is not usually the thing that we see. But new pitcher on the mound. I will get the new name. It is number 13 for Eastern Florida State College. The 3-run home run by Braden Gonzalez. The DH makes it 12-3. Pasco-Hernando up by 9 here at Rec Park. So it is number 13 for Eastern Florida State College. This is your Bobcat update for the pitcher on the mound for the Titans. Number 13, Jake Richardson. Jake Richardson with no stats for pitching. None. There is no stats for pitching for Jake Richardson. You know him because he was on the batting lineup as the number 9 hitter earlier in this game. He was out in center field. Horatio Sanchez 1 for 2. Prescott is at first base after the walk by the previous pitcher. That was Bryce Jackson, who's now back in his shortstop position. Count is 0-1 against Sanchez. Here comes the second pitch by Richardson. That's a ball. Count is even 1-1. Twelve to 3 is the ball game. PHSC up by 9. The 1-1 delivery. That one hit to Yarrow. Thrown to Jackson to Menetwitz. Mingetwitz. And it only grabs one. That being Prescott, but Sanchez able to stay at first. And now you have Alex Rodriguez up to bat. So the fielder's choice gets Prescott out, but Sanchez able to make it in time for himself being at first base. Rodriguez crushes one. That's deep and high to right field. That one is gone. Home run! The 2-run home run ends the game here by Alex Rodriguez. And it is 14 to 3. In this bottom of the 6th inning, Pasco-Hernando with a dominant performance, a momentum booster for sure, as they improve their record to 28-18 overall. PHSC will now take on St. John's River State College starting on the 16th in an away game. Will come back on Saturday the 18th for their home doubleheader to wrap up the 3-game series and continue to push for the playoffs that are happening in Port Charlotte. In less than 2 weeks, Pasco-Hernando outdo the Titans 14 to 3 on 12 hits, and great efforts by Gonzalez, by Barros, by Rodriguez, by Durfee. A great hitting performance by everyone as Pasco-Hernando looks to build momentum for their final conference matchups. 14 to 3 is the final score. PHSC now with 4 straight wins heading into later this week. For our athletic director, Lyndon Coleman, producers James Mowring and Tyler Clausen, and the entire PHSC athletics department staff, we thank you for watching tonight's broadcast Again, we apologize for any technical issues that have happened during the broadcast, such as the finding out the pitchers and the new spots for the outfielders. Nevertheless, we still hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Hope you had some great moments looking at this game, got some insight to this team, and we'll do it all over again on Saturday with that home doubleheader at 2 and 5 p.m. against St. John's River State College. Signing off, I'm Robert Lischak. Stay safe out there. Good night.